Hi, this is Kara from KB Crochet. This tutorial will show you how to crochet a granny square. Granny squares are particularly versatile because they can be any size. You just simply finish the granny square after whichever round you want in order to get the size you want. You can also use any hook size and any yarn size. A granny square is crocheted in the round, so if you have not already watched the tutorials for how to crochet in the round using either a series of chains or a magic loop or magic circle, I would advise you to go back and do that unless you already have some experience crocheting in the round. If you're going to start with chains, you'll start with 6. I'm going to show how to do this using a magic circle or magic loop. You start by wrapping your yarn around like you're going to join to your hook with a slip knot. You pull the yarn through, then you just don't pull it tight. What you are going to do is chain 3. 1, 2, 3. After that, you will work around your loop and over top of your tail. Your next step will be to double crochet 2. 1, and 2. So you now have your set of 3 chains and 1, 2 double crochets. A granny square is one of the few patterns where I do count my first set of chains as my first stitch. I will do that in each and every round after this. After those 3, you'll chain 2. You're then going to double crochet 3 more times in that loop. 1, 2, and 3. Now you will see some patterns that tell you to only crochet 1 in between your sets of double crochets. I do 2 because I think it makes more of a corner look, and then this is not as rounded. You'll chain 2 again and double crochet 3 more. You now have 3 sets of double crochets and 2 corners. You're going to chain 2 again, 1, 2, and do 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. You now have 4 sides to your square. You're going to chain 2 and join to the top of those sets of chains. Oops. With a slip stitch. After that, you'll go back and take your tail and pull that tight. Now at some point you are going to need to secure this tail, which I do by finding a close stitch and using that tail to pull up a loop and pull through just like you would when finishing. I then take it up and weave it in or crochet over it. You've now finished the first round of your granny square. To start the second round, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. You're then going to turn your square. Now, a lot of patterns will not tell you to turn the square. I do because I think it prevents your square from leaning. After that, you're going to work 2 more double crochets in that first corner space. So counting your first set of chains as a double crochet, you now have 1, 2, 3 double crochets in that first corner. You're then going to chain 2, 1, 2, and do 3 more double crochets in that same corner space. 1, 2, and 3. You now have 1, 2, 3 double crochets, 2 chains, and 1, 2, 3 double crochets. That makes your first corner of your second round. You will work the same pattern in every corner around. 3 double crochets, 2 chains, 3 double crochets. In between your corners, where we are now, you're going to chain 1. You don't need to worry about your corner having an angle, so you only need 1 chain in between the corners. After that, you will double crochet 3, 1, 2, and 3. You'll then chain 2 and double crochet 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Let's try that again. Good. You now have 2 corners and 1 whole side of your second round done. After that, you'll chain 1, and you'll repeat 3 double crochets, 2 chains, 3 double crochets in the next corner. 1, 2, and 3. You're then going to chain 2, double crochet 3 more. 1, 2, 3. There's your third corner. You're then going to chain 1, use your in between your corners, and you're going to repeat 1, 2, 3, followed by 2 chains, 1, 2, and 3 double crochets, 1, whoops, sorry about that, 1, 2 and 3, to make your fourth corner. You're then going to chain 1 and join to the top of your chains with a slip stitch. Oops. A little trouble getting through there. All right, now if you like this size, you can certainly finish off here. You can actually finish off anytime after any round you want, or to keep going, you'll chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn. Now, in a side space, you're only going to work 3 double crochets. We're going to count our first chains and work 2 double crochets after that. Good. Then you'll chain 1 because it's not a corner. And in your corner, you'll work the same that you've worked in every corner, which is 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and 3 more double crochets. Oops. 1, 2, and 3. Good. Then you chain 1 because we're not at a corner, and in this side space you're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. You're then back to the corner. So you'll chain 1 to get there, then 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Followed by 2 chains, and 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Now you'll just continue following that pattern where if you're not on a corner, you simply chain 1 and do 3 double crochets in each chain 1 or side space around. So for the next round, you would have 2 side spaces. So you'd have 3 chains in each, 3 double crochets in each of these. For the corners, you'll keep repeating the pattern where you double crochet 3, chain 2, double crochet 3. You can keep doing that for as many rounds as you want, and just when you get back to the beginning, you join to the top with a slip stitch and finish off and weave in both ends. Now, granny squares are particularly useful because you can do several of them and stitch them together for a small project like a scarf or a tote bag. You can find patterns that make them into hats. You can also do several of any size and stitch them together to make an afghan for a baby, a lapghan, or a large afghan. And again, it's up to you how big or how small you make your granny squares, so how many you would need to make for each pattern would vary depending on that. You can also just keep going with this pattern and make an afghan out of one large granny square. I do have a tutorial that shows how to do that using chunky yarn, and I will post it to my playlist for beginning crochet lessons and patterns. If you have any questions about how to do a granny square or crochet in general, please feel free to leave your question in the comment section for this video. If you're looking for additional tutorials or free pattern videos, please check out my channel. If you prefer to have written patterns, please take a look at my blog, kbcrochet@wordpress.com. Thank you and happy crocheting!